Hey, this is Thomas from Lake Helena Lights with a little, not tutorial, but just a look through of how I set up my display. I'll back it up so you guys can see the entire thing, because right now the full video is uploading onto YouTube, but I have a few things out here. Got my 4 arches going and 5 trees. I will go in depth on how tall they are and stuff like that, but we'll get started with the snowman and Santa. Now Santa, I got him this year. One thing that I like about it is that it comes on a square base, if you can see that, where it stakes in the ground very easily. Now where I live, we have very soft ground, so I have to have more than the 4 stakes that they provide. But I believe, was $54.99 at Lowe's. Now, this little guy I've had for about 4 years, and he's about 2.5 feet tall. Santa's 48 inches, and the snowman's about 2 feet tall. It's been going really well, easy to set up. It's just like the spiral trees. It's easy to set up, easy to take down. I just love it. And then we'll scoot over here to my 6-foot tree. It is staked down with the 4 stakes. And this I just got this year, along with this 48-inch one. But what I like about it, other than my other ones, is it has a lot more lights. If you can see each individual light, try to get to focus. Anyway, each light is almost layered on top of another one, which gives it a full effect. But then we'll go over here to my 48-inch one. It came with this in a 2-piece set, and that was $59 that we got those for. Then we have my small 36-inch one. I've had that thing for 3 years, along with this short one, this 48-inch over here. But this one right here was like $30, I believe. And then this one right here was about $32. Those two I believe those two came in a little kit together. But then I got this 6-foot tall tree. I got that last year. And what I like better about this 6-foot tree than this one is, if you can see, that one has more layers and it has more lights. Plus, this one right here is wider at the base, so it gives it more of a round tree instead of a vertical tree. But then we'll kind of come across over here. We have my arches, which I made out of Schedule 40 PVC. Each one's 10 feet long. The white lights that are wrapped around it are, let's see, these white lights that are wrapped around it right here are, I have 1,200 on each arch. Now, as you can see, I have plenty of sections out. I think I have a total of 4, but those went out because of rain and issues like that, which always suck to have that happen. But it does. Now the green and red ones that you'll see right here, I have layered on top of it instead of being right instead of like twisting them together, I actually just layered them on top. In some places I got a little sloppy with it, like right here. You can tell that it's really sloppy, but when you look at it from a distance, it looks great. It gives it a full effect, because I only used 1/2 inch Schedule 40 PVC, 10 feet long. But I have them split in half, just to, instead of getting jumping arches, I can get sliding arches. But then we'll go to these windows right here. Now what I did with those is I did a green, red, and the green one right here on the other side. And those right there, each has 200 lights on each window. I got them last year for like $2 a box after Christmas sale. And these right here are like really high quality. I've stepped on bulbs, I've dropped them, I've abused them quite a bit, and they're still together. And then you have my other green one, 200 lights each one, so that's a total of 600. But then we have my little pillar that I added, because these small candy canes you could hardly see because they were so small. But so then I added that to give it more of a little accent to it. But that I just took some garland, wrapped it around our little pillar over here, and then I wrapped that with 400 extra lights. So each garland had 100 lights on it, and I have 10 of them there. So that's 1,000 plus the 400. That's 1,400 lights on this pillar right here. This Merry Christmas sign, I'm actually kind of disappointed in, because at night you can't tell that it says Merry Christmas on it. It just looks like a layer of green lights. But you can tell that it is poinsettia right there. But one thing that I did to fix it, the fact that you can't see that it says Merry Christmas on it, excuse me, is I've added a floodlight to it. And that should be, see that thing will turn on, it gets really bright, and it lights it up so that you get the kind of shininess of the material that it was made out of. It's reflective, but I got that this year, and I have that hanging from the gutter up there, and then it's hanging down with some S hooks. Don't know if you can see that or not. Let me try to. See, it's hanging with some S hooks that I got from Lowe's, because I found out that Lowe's is probably the better place to go for it. And with some of the sequences that are being used from the show, I just want to say thank you to Christian with Christmas on Evergreen for sending me a couple of those. He does an amazing job. You guys can check out his channel on YouTube. I will put a link in the description. But it's tied down right here. It's tied down with a little stake. And then we already had this little twig sticking up right here. And so what I did is I just wrapped it around that a lot. And it holds it down just as much as all the stakes do. Now these candy canes right here each have 10 lights in them. And I have 20 of them. Those right there are 10 inches tall. They have a 1.5 foot wire in between each one. The one thing that I did not like about these is that when you bought them, it didn't just come with 10 candy canes and you could take off a couple or add a couple if needed. No, these right here, all 10 of them are put together by one wire, so you cannot pick and choose without having to cut the wire. Now, so as you can tell, I have a lot of extension cord, quite a bit, especially leading up to my number 2 Lightorama box, which that box right there controls it. I have a total of a little over 14,300 lights on this house and in the yard. But another thing that I forgot to mention earlier is the roof. Now, what I love about the roof is that it is nice and flat. You don't have, it's nice and flat, and it's a sort of steep angle. I think it is like a 10-12. But what I love about it is that it had this peak right here that is going from these windows up. So what I did is I separated each peak, each flat surface on the peak. So if you'll look over here, you'll see that triangle. If you look right here, you see that triangle. And if you come around here, you get that triangle. And that one I know is a little sloppy because I have bulbs going in all directions with that one. But it's just been kind of chilly out. And today was our only warm day. But we had some work to do, so I wasn't able to do that. But, yeah, just a little look through. Each peak right here has, let's see, the right and left peak, well, triangles, I have are 50 lights each. And then the center one right here actually goes across the back of the peak, which I thought was pretty awesome. It added a little effect to it and just kind of made it easier to look at and added some more light to it. Now that one right there has 200 lights on it, the middle peak. Now the roof itself, I use C9 warm white clear casing lights. I will do a little close up right here. As I have it spaced out, the clips 2 bulbs, but next year I'm gonna add a couple things to it. But one thing that I found out that I couldn't do was have all my lights hook up across there and then go across right there, which is kind of disappointing. But next year what I'm thinking about doing is adding some net lights on the roof, because I want to fill in that little gap right there, right in between all those lights. And it just seems so perfect to add net lights because they're evenly spaced. And so I'm gonna do that next year, and I'm also gonna add a couple things to my arches. But here's a little demonstration of what I was talking about, sliding arches instead of jumping. And it'll just kind of scoot across. I personally like this better because I've never seen anybody do that before. I've only seen jumping arches. But that's all that I've seen is jumping arches. I've never seen sliding arches. But it's really awesome that I have the, as you can see, I had those green lights on, but I still have the white lights jumping, well, sliding in between each one. Yeah, that's a little tutorial, and not really a tutorial, but a walk through my display. I have that one, that controller box, and then I have controller box number 1 with all those extension cords going out. I have my Tune 2 sign It is tuned to 105.1 FM. I will get that plugged in just to show you. And then I am actually taking donations this year for the Russell Home in Orlando, Florida for atypical children. And so I have my little cardboard sign to let people know that this box right here is how I am hanging it. One thing that I do not like about this place that we are living at is a street light right next to our house. But I wrapped this with green and white lights. What I'm going to be doing next year with this thing is I'm going to make it brighter. I'm going to add more lights to it and possibly add it into the show with an extra channel. But hopefully I get more people to show up next year. I have a floodlight shining on it, that way people can read it. Okay, you can see it since it's dark, you can barely see it, but it says donations right there. So yeah, that's just a little walkthrough. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Subscribe, like, leave any comments below. I also have a Facebook. It is www.facebook.com / Helena Lights. I will put the link below. But I hope this video was kind of fun for you guys to watch. I will be posting more videos onto my Facebook, and I will be uploading more to YouTube. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you.